This is Cougar News.
Hello and welcome to your second Cougar News Brief for March 2nd. I'm Brooke Lohman.
I'm Andrew Menjivar, and here's the latest from around Santa Clarita. Last night, 12 states held their primary elections in a day that is known as Super Tuesday. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton came out on top for the night, winning a majority of the states and securing a sizable number of delegates. Clinton is sitting nearly 700 delegates above opponent Bernie Sanders. Going into the general election, should Hillary win, she will be the clear favorite over Donald Trump, who will have a hard time within his own party. 5 more states will be holding their primaries Saturday for both parties.
Why is that?
I think Donald Trump is going to be a disaster as a candidate. Already what you have is the senator from Oklahoma has already gone on TV going ahead and saying that he could not support Donald Trump. A very moderate Republican senator, Christine Whitman, was on TV saying she couldn't support him. She actually said that she would vote for Hillary Clinton.
Becoming an Olympic athlete is not an easy task. 3 swimmers at the Canyons Aquatic Center are training to represent their countries in the 2016 Rio Olympics. The first step will be trials, and COC's very own Andrew Gold has more on the story.
Every tenth of a second counts, which is why in swimming, training is of utmost importance.
I came from a distance program before. Coley came into the mix and huge shock.
It's cool because Coley's, he's just always looking for something new. He's looking for a way to keep you stimulated through that whole 2 hours.
One thing they can all agree upon is the intensity of his workouts.
Do this and then jump back in and do this and get out with one arm and get out with the other arm. You know, it's crazy. It's so much fun.
Coley Stickles has coached Olympic-bound swimmers at Canyons Aquatic Club for 4 years, and many of them to American, world, and national records.
They've had success, and success kind of breeds more success.
Currently training with him now are Abby Whitesell, Coleman Allen, and Santo Condorelli.
Each one is unique. They all bring something a little bit different to the table. I've known Santo the longest. I've known him since he was about 6, and I've kind of watched Abby mature and grow up from kind of a high school kid and teenager to one of the world's best swimmers.
Abby now powering down the stretch to hand it off to their second leg.
And Coleman's relatively new, but we clicked right off the bat.
Coach Stickles and his athletes know that if they stick to his training regimen, the Olympics will be in their future.
They had opportunities to swim with the head Olympic coach in the previous Olympic Games, all of them. They believe in the program, and they believe in me.
Like, I've dedicated 100% of my mind, my attitude, my effort to his training.
If you walked on deck, especially during one of our race sets, I guess, you'd be amazed.
Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Andrew Gold.
Many students have graduated from College of the Canyons, but only 26 have stood apart from the rest. Though you can also leave a mark. Aaron Lanuza brings us more.
College of the Canyons is planning to induct another 2 former students and present community leaders to the Alumni Hall of Fame this spring. But do COC students really know anything about their Alumni Hall of Fame?
No.
And we went to go ask more people.
I actually had no idea that there was a COC Hall of Fame.
No, not really. Don't really know anything about it, but it makes sense considering most colleges have a Hall of Fame, so.
COC Hall of Fame? No. Oh, no.
No.
Cindy Behan is the College of the Canyons Foundation Development Coordinator, who oversees the induction process for alumni and ensures that the college contacts its former students and finds some of the interesting stories attached to those men and women.
The Hall of Fame is an award that we started giving in 1999. It actually started as an Alumni of the Year award, and we would honor those who came from the college and graduated, but also went out and kind of represent the best of College of the Canyons.
And that's how they found Don.
So 1978 is when I kind of started my business career in town in earnest. All Valley Rental Center, which is what it was called when I bought it, we incorporated that to AV Equipment Rental, and my partner Mike Rebman and I have been running that ever since. This is our almost 38th year. So we've been there for a long time. And in the course of doing the rental business, one of the things that I discovered is a lot of people in town need a lot of equipment for various things. And so we became involved in nonprofits, and we became involved in doing community events, even early on, even before there was a city.
Don Cruikshank is one of the 2015 COC Hall of Fame inductees and still has valuable memories of COC.
And the teacher in the class was Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith was also my teacher for Sociology 101 when I was a freshman in '71. And when we got into class, he asked the class, is there anybody here that's ever had a class with me before? And I raised my hand. I've had a class. And he says, I don't recognize you. And I said, that's because the last time I had a class with you was in 1971. He goes, wow. He says, you're bookends to my career. He says, that was one of the first classes I ever taught. And this is one of my last classes. And it kind of struck me that, wow, I'm wrapping up my 2-year degree in a time frame that took his entire academic teaching career, his 30-some years in education, and then I walk away with a 2-year degree. I don't want to diminish that. I'm very proud of the fact that I actually went and finished.
So the criteria is that somebody could nominate anybody who was a College of the Canyons graduate, and that they went on to be a leader in their community, a leader in their business that gives back, that, as I said, like basically just represents the best of the College of the Canyons education.
So be motivated, be passionate, and be your own person so that one day you can be like, or even become, a COC Alumni Hall of Famer too. For your Cougar News, I'm Aaron Lanuza.
Southern California Gas was recently indicted on criminal charges stemming from the Aliso Canyon gas leak. Chris McCroy has the story.
Utility company Southern California Gas was recently charged by the LA County District Attorney with 4 criminal charges. Last week, in the Santa Clarita Courthouse, they entered a not guilty plea.
With regard to the gas company, obviously, of course, it's a corporation, not an individual. And, the way reading the complaint, statement of rights, and I plead not guilty on behalf of the gas company. Yes, sir.
The criminal charges were filed by District Attorney Jackie Lacey, 3 for failing to report the leak to the California Office of Emergency Services, and 1 for discharging hazardous material into the atmosphere, as seen in this video. In the official news release, Lacey said that, quote, while we recognize that neither the criminal charges nor the civil lawsuits will offer the residents of Los Angeles County a complete solution, it is important that Southern California Gas Company be held responsible for its criminal actions. Immediately after SoCal Gas pled not guilty to the charges, they held a press conference outside the courtroom.
We believe that we have operated the Aliso Canyon storage facility in compliance with all applicable laws and regulations. Further, when we discovered the leak, we made prompt notifications to multiple agencies.
For Cougar News, this is Chris McCrory.
Still to come, we bring you the vigil dedicated to the 2 students who died in last week's fatal crash.
Plus, a bat attacked a student here on campus. Stay tuned.
Art is life. Art is love. Art is patience.
College of the Canyons hosted a candlelight vigil tonight in honor of the victims of the commerce crash last week. Chris McCrory was there to pay his respects and speak to those affected.
Friends and family came together in the Honor Grove to celebrate the lives of Brian Lewandowski and Michelle Littlefield.
She knows how to have a good time, how to live a good life by just being a decent person. And that's all she wanted. She just wanted to help everyone. She just wanted to live a normal life.
The two lost their lives in a fatal crash in Commerce. 2 others are still in critical condition. The families of those affected urge the community to pray for their recovery and remember those lost.
She was an extraordinary human being, full of love and caring for other people.
For Cougar News, this is Chris McCrory.
Last week, a student was attacked by a bat on our campus. Austin Westfall was able to sit down with officials on our campus to find out more.
On Tuesday of last week, around 7 p.m., a student was strolling about campus when something strange happened.
He was walking near the tennis courts, and he had been bitten by a bat.
By the following week, knowledge of the incident has spread through the campus.
When she told me about it, I was like, a bat at COC, okay? But then
the student was treated for rabies as a precautionary measure.
The bat wasn't found, so it couldn't be tested.
Nearly half of Los Angeles County's rabid bat incidents happened in Santa Clarita last year, which makes them sound like a big deal. But what do students think?
It doesn't really concern me because, like, I don't run into a lot of bats.
Here on campus, not so much. We're so surrounded by other, like busy areas.
While it is unlikely to encounter a bat, it's always important to be mindful of their presence.
The bats are found on the ground or something like that, so the best thing to do is just avoid them.
Officials say a typical bat will not bother you if you don't bother it. In the case you do get bit, the Los Angeles County Animal Care and Control can be reached at 661-257-3191. For Cougar News, I'm Austin Westfall.
Sheriff's deputies are asking for the help from the public in finding a missing Canyon Country man. 64-year-old Craig Wilson was last heard from on February 9th from his family. He's been described as 6 feet tall, weighing roughly 175 pounds with gray hair and blue eyes. He usually wears thick-rimmed glasses and has a tattoo of a wizard on his left upper arm. If you have any information regarding Wilson or his whereabouts, you can call Missing Person Details at 323-890-5500.
That does it for your Cougar News Brief. My name is Brooke Lohman. For more information in and around the Santa Clarita Valley, you can check us out at cougarnews.com.
Now I'm Andrew Menjivar. You can also send us news tips and story ideas to our Twitter handle at @COC_Cougar News. See you next week.